Merry Christmas! Wherever you are, I wish you and your family, your friends, just all the best, the most happiness, and just have a really, really good day. Just enjoy it. Just relax with the people that matter the most to you. I'm hoping that you've managed to see your family and friends, because this year has just been a weird one. It's been full of plenty of downs, not many ups. I guess the downs being the pandemic. I mean, I'm still locked down at the moment, and it's not, there doesn't seem to be an end to it, but I'm just hoping that with the next year coming around the corner, everything's going to be better for everybody. There's been a lot of division, so kind of a lot of, and I do believe that it's all stoked through, for whatever reason, through the mainstream media, and through a lot of people in positions of power in government and people with influence, just stoking up those divisions between different groups with different identities, and it's not been brilliant. But the good things are kind of, I'm still alive. I've got all my family and my friends around me, and that's really great. My little daughter's just doing really, really well, and she's fluent in English and Spanish, and she's learning Welsh now at school, so she's going to be trilingual. In fact, she knows a lot of Welsh now, and she'll come and speak to us a little bit and tell us different things. And I don't know if it's things that they've learnt in the school, or kind of set stories and things like that, or if she's just rattling it off herself. I don't know, but I haven't got a clue what she's saying, which is fun. But I mean, there's gonna be times where I'm just not gonna understand what she's saying. She could be saying anything to me. It's a bit dangerous, isn't it? And my channel. So this year has marked for me the growth of my channel, and I'm still going, and I'm still learning, and I'm hoping that you have enjoyed coming along with me and listening to things that I've got to say on different subjects, and the guests that I've had on the channel on Drinks with Chris. So it's been fun. But it's brought me to kind of a bit of a realisation this year. And it's been the case of, we've been locked down, we've had a lot of time to think, a lot of time to look at our lives and look at what's going on, and it just brought me to a moment where I thought to myself, do you know what? There's elements, there's areas of your life and your lifestyle that aren't as good as they could be. They're not as they're not efficient for the progress that I want to make in my life. And I would imagine that a lot of people have the same issues that not issues. So it's not an issue, but the same feelings of not living up to my capabilities, almost kind of not. I know what I'm capable of. I know what my abilities are, and I feel that there's certain elements of my life that I'm allowing to impede that progress and what I know I can achieve, maybe a lot faster. And the things that they are kind of things that have been with me throughout my life, and things that they're not a massive issue, but they just get in the way. And what they are is it's drinking alcohol and eating bad food. And they've been this is why I think that a lot of people will resonate with this. They're kind of like my Achilles heel in life. And they haven't always been like that. So with alcohol, for example, I made the realization that it gets in the way. It makes me more lethargic if I have a drink, even if it's the night before. And so I don't know if people can relate, but so even if I have a couple of beers at night now, the next day I'm just lethargic. I feel tired. I feel lazy. And psychologically, you put things off, or you push it back a little bit, or you don't do it, or for example, exercise. There'll be days where maybe I've had a drink the night before, and then the next day I think I've planned to go and exercise, and it just okay, I'll do it in the afternoon. It's fine. I'll do it in the afternoon, and then the afternoon comes, and I'll say I'll do it later, and then later comes, and I'll say I'll do it tomorrow, and so like that's the kind of thing that I've been feeling recently, and it's only because I've had time to sit back and reflect. I'm like, yeah, like that's something that's pulling me back from going full throttle to develop my Drinks with Chris podcast. I'm looking at developing another channel where I'm going to be putting vlogs and things. So it just seems like if it's pulling me back in those areas, then maybe it's time for a rethink. And it's the same with food. Food kind of, when I drink, I eat always. So if I'm looking to get back in shape or whatever, if I've drank, I will invariably eat, without exception. And for whatever reason, I've got no willpower when I've had a drink not to eat something. So if I'm looking to live healthy and and it's health, obviously it's healthy body, healthy mind. That's the way that your system works. And so if I'm trying to live like that, then it's no good having that obstacle to always get over. And then it's a case of eating bad food. I eat quite a bit of kind of a lot of carbs, a lot of bread, I don't eat a lot of fast food, but I eat a lot of sweets, a lot of chocolate. And none of these are good for us at all. And so I'm just kind of I got to that realization recently where I've started to look at it and I've said, do you know what? It's just not, I'm not reaching my potential as quickly as I want to. And I think these are the reasons why. It's because I'm not keeping my engine clean. I'm not putting the right fuel into my engine. And so that's ultimately, if I want to be switched on and I want to be kind of going and fighting the fight every day and really, really throw myself into everything, then I start to question, is it time for me to change that and to get away from it and not do those things? And so I identified alcohol and food. So my relationship with alcohol, my relationship with food, and those relationships being unhealthy, I identified those as being areas that I can improve, that will improve my life, will improve the life of people around me if I'm kind of fully on my game, because I know who I am, I know how capable I am, I know my potential. And so if I'm falling short of that path, and I'm having a day off, I'm not exercising, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, my exercise regime's very up and down, then it's not on. And so, and as I say, it's like this is the pandemic, this is lockdown that has made me realise this, sitting and just thinking, this isn't, like, I'm not running efficiently. So I just wanted to like share with people watching that my relationships with food and alcohol and like where it's come from, because I think that people will be able to relate. Food has always been not an issue for me, but I eat a lot. So I was always taught by my parents to always finish your meal. So I'd end up always, no matter what's on my plate, I will always finish every last little piece of food. So if it's a mountain of spaghetti or a mountain of curry or whatever it is, I'll eat the lot, even if I'm physically in pain or my stomach's full. I'll just eat it all, and that's how I've always been. And I've always had kind of a worry of, what if this is my last meal, or what if I don't get a chance to eat again? And that's always in the back of my mind, and that's a strange kind of psychological trick that I have, or something, or a strange bit of psychology. Is why do I feel like that? Why do I feel that I'm not going to? There's potential that I don't get another meal. So in that case, I tend to always feel that I want to have a big meal. I want to take advantage of this moment. I mean, that might be something quite primal, instinctual, that like as a human, as we evolved, we needed to eat the maximum we could, as a lot of animals do, eat the maximum that we could at each meal, not knowing when the next meal would come. And so I often wonder is that why I feel like that? But my relationship with food isn't good in that sense, that I need to have 3 meals a day, and I need each of those meals to be substantial. Now, when I was younger, maybe that was the case because I was doing a hell of a lot of exercise, so I was burning it all off. But now that I'm older and now that I've become less active, which I want to get back to, by the way, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I'm eating the way I am, because it's that feeling of not wanting to miss out on a meal or not wanting to. So, I know, so like logically, rationally, I understand that you don't need to eat 3 substantial meals a day. I get that. So that's a habit that I want to change, and I want to make sure that I'm not doing that. So whether that means that I eat less meals, I don't know. I don't know yet. But I certainly want to change my eating habits and the way that I feel about food and the way that I think about it and the foods that I want to eat. So I want to change it so that it becomes more of that I'm refueling my body and not seeing it as a comfort that I need to eat. I need to have something big. Oh, it's lunchtime. I need to have something big. It's breakfast. I've got to have a big meal. Dinner, I've got to have something big. Instead of thinking it along those lines, I've got to think about, okay, you need to refuel your body, and it only needs a certain amount of fuel. It doesn't need to be packed in. Like sometimes when you put in fuel into your car, you know that you don't need to put a full tank in. It's not necessary. Your car can still run really well on less. So I need to change that. That's one of the things I definitely need to change. And I hope that people, I do hope that people watching this video will start to look at their own habits and their own things in their life that are just getting stuck in the way a little bit and preventing you from getting out there and getting after it. So that leads me on to my relationship with alcohol. And this is kind of a strange one because it's been pushed on me. Not pushed on me, but it's a learned behaviour. It's something that I've learned, and it started off. I would always have just a beer or just whatever drink as I grew up, as I was young, when I first started going out and everything else. That's fine. But when it changed to something more adult, more habitual, I think it was there was a couple of things. Since I went to Colombia, when I went to Colombia, I started, for the first time, and I'd never done it before, I started to drink alcohol, spirits, liquor, neat, because that was introduced to me in parties and things like that. They drink rum or aguardiente neat, so it's just passed around. Everybody drinks it neat. So I picked up that habit. So now I drink alcohol like that neat. It might be rum or vodka or whatever. I'll drink it neat. I might drink it with other things, mixers, but I drink it neat as well. And so it's part of that conditioning, I think, since then. And obviously I then went on to work in pubs and restaurants, and that's just the culture. It's part of the way of life when you're working as a manager in hospitality, is that whether it's kind of drinking in the pub environment because you're the manager and it's kind of your house, and or if it's restaurants or whatever, having a drink after work. So everybody's finished their shift and everybody gets together and has a drink after work, and so whatever it is, it's still a culture of just drinking, and so those two things coupled together were what's formed kind of my habit, or my habit of drinking. So drinking at night, as I say, it's only having a couple of beers, but it's regular. It's not kind of just a weekend or whatever. And so yeah, so I just think that's that kind of way of life was learned, and so that's what needs to change, because previous to that, I didn't drink. I didn't drink very much at all. I was really, really fit. I was super health conscious. And so I guess this was around the time that I went to Colombia. It was around that time. And so I didn't drink. I used to run or swim 4 to 5 times a week. And I used to hit it hard. It was intense. So we're talking hour-long runs, or hour and something runs, or an hour-long swim of high intensity, real high intensity. Pounding. So things that I couldn't do now at all. There's no way I could do some of the runs that I used to do right now. I plan to change that. But yeah, it was great, and I felt great, and I felt kind of really on top of the world. My mind was super sharp, and I was really hungry for progress, hungry to attack the world. And now looking back, I kind of feel that that's where I'm lacking now, is I don't have that clarity of that super sharp clarity of thought, where I'm able to kind of pinpoint what I want, go after it, chase it almost 12 hours a day or whatever it is, just chase it. And that's what I think that my food and my drink habits have brought me away from, and clouded it. And so, like my wife, when I met my wife, I was super fit. Like my dad would say, I was like a racing snake. I didn't have very much fat on me. I was toned. I was like, my cardio was great, and so my wife jokes now, saying like I lied to her. And I know this happens to a lot of men, where when you get married, you put on the weight, because you start to relax then, and you start to eat well, but yeah, so like I didn't lie to her. I just got really comfortable in marriage. So yeah, so like I used to run, and like giving a shout out to my really good friend Nick Wojcik. Like we used to call each other up and say, okay, you ready? Let's go. Like, so I'd either drive to his house, or he'd run to my house, and then we'd run. Some days I used to run or swim, and then go and play competitive 5-a-side football in the evening or whatever. So I was really on top of exercising and going out. And I mean, you can probably tell I'm excited by the thought and by the idea of going back to that. And I think the only thing that was stopping me is my food and drink habits right now. And it used to make me feel like superhero. It used to make me feel like it gave me like a competitive advantage, gave me an edge over other people in the race, in the race of life. Because I used to feel like I felt that people on a Friday or a Saturday were in the pub drinking, and I was out running in December when it was freezing. And that kind of hunger, that edge, that kind of like I'm at the top. I'm at the top of my game, and while you're wasting your time in the pub, not exercising, drinking, eating bad food. That's what kind of really motivated me and got me going. And that's where I've gone to now, which is sad, really. Like, but it's taken me a while to realise this, because eating nice food, eating sweets, eating cakes, eating whatever, and drinking, it's fun. I enjoy sitting in the evening and watching something funny on the TV, or watching something interesting and having a drink and having a laugh, and it's and admittedly, like the alcohol or a drink, it enhances the relaxation and kind of and the experience, but ultimately you've got to ask yourself, okay, so what is the, okay, it helps that, but what's your goal? Like, do you want to be entertained? Is that it? Like, do you want to eat whatever you want, your nachos and your sweets and your biscuits and whatever else, and you can drink your beer and your wine and whatever, and just be entertained? Is that your life? And like, so my realization now is that that's not my life. That's not how I want to. That's not how I want to continue. I've got things to achieve and places to go. So yeah, so like that's I've become what I used to think was the lifestyle that I had a competitive advantage over. So while other people were being lazy, I was running and grinding and everything else. Now it's me. So that's something that really needs to change. And do you know what? I think it's more. I think now as an adult, I think our system, the system that we live in, I do believe, is created to promote an unhealthy lifestyle, to push, to advertise, constantly advertise your fast food, your Burger King, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, all of these things, KFC. It's going to constantly pushing that, and then also pushing the culture of drink, have fun, YOLO, you only live once. Yeah, I know you only live once, but so you've got to think what you want to achieve, don't you? But I think that it's a system that's created for that, and I think it's a system that's been designed. I'm not saying that somebody at the start set out, wrote a plan, and that was it. It's just happened over time. But the people in power know that they can control the adult population by having most people sedentary, lethargic, lazy, overweight. They don't want a load of energetic, fit, athletic individuals running around changing the world. They don't want that, do they? They don't want a load of Spartans deciding that we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to take over, we're going to change this, we're going to change that. We don't like it. They don't like that. I mean, look at the pandemic lockdowns now. Can you imagine if the whole population was all on the ball and like and really switched on and fit, and okay, so let's change this. Let's go and protest. Let's go and change what's going on and change what the outcome is. And I mean, for heaven's sake, like we're told that you can't go and see your family and friends this Christmas. What a load of rubbish! It really is a load of rubbish. It's, I mean, like for example, I haven't seen my mum for 12 months now. So mum's in a care home after having a stroke. I'm like, I can't go and see her. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. So things like drink and food, alcohol and sugar, it's not used now how it was originally used when it was not discovered, when it was, because I guess they're both stimulants. Alcohol is a stimulant, sugar's a stimulant. And so they would have been used mainly in tribes, in our ancient ancestors, prehistoric ancestors. They would use it for special occasions, to celebrate. They would have stimulants and psychoactive substances, and they'd eat maybe some things that were nice. So they might go and find, and they still do it in some parts of the world. They'll go and get honey from beehives somewhere, and they'll go and collect that honey under great kind of stress, being stung and everything else. And they'll bring it back in that sugar, and they'll share it around, and then that's a stimulant, and people feel good and everything else. But it was always only special occasions, and it's only in the Western world where it's been turned into, it's almost been weaponized, where it's become it's promoted as doing it as a habit instead of doing it just as a special occasion. It's like, no, drink all the time, every night, have a glass of wine. every day I have some chocolate biscuits, I have some crisps, and they're readily available and they're cheap and everything else. So, so it's very hard for people to get out of the control that's put on them. I mean, ice cream, cake, beer, wine, like it's all so delicious. It's all made to make us want more and want more and more regular and more of it, higher quantities. And when you go to all your fast food restaurants and you take away, and you've got these huge kind of cups now of fizzy drinks, and it's insane really when you think about it, because our bodies aren't supposed to take those things. And it keeps people lethargic and lazy. It keeps them down. It keeps them. But it's the perfect weapon. Because they want more. They want the hit. They want that alcohol. They want that sugar. And that's why it's the perfect weapon. Because people don't want to give it up. People don't want to clean themselves up. They want to continue to have their nightly chocolate or their nightly. But it just keeps people trapped in bad health cycles, and keeping them down. So they never get the chance to be sharp in the mind, and it only gets worse over time. You're just constantly under that kind of influence of sugar, alcohol, sugar, carbs. Yeah, so I mean, what I'd say is I'd like this episode to inspire people to think. Okay, so have a look at your life and say, what do you want to achieve in your life, and what's stopping you? Because a lot of people talk about, well, just go out and do it, just go after it. Well, yeah, no, that's the plan, but there's these hidden little obstacles that are put in your way that just kind of trip you up, and just along the way it doesn't make the path smooth for you. It makes it bumpy and rough, and so have a look at your life. It could be anything. Like these are just the small things that I've identified that if I can move them out of my path, I know I can fly. And you have a look at your life and say, okay, what are your things that are an issue? What would improve your progress with the things that you want to achieve? So yeah, so my plan is, moving forward, is all of next year, the whole of 2021 as a goal. But it may be that after that it just carries on forever. But the whole of 2021, I'm going to go alcohol-free completely. And the reason why I've decided that is because some people do dry January or a month of not drinking. But for me, it's not good enough, because I know that after a month I'll be drinking again. So before that month, I'll drink before I start, and I'll have a knees up or whatever. And then at the end of it, I'll be waiting for that knees up again. But then, so you go back into that cycle, and it can't be that. It needs to be a lifestyle change. So I need an extended period of time of where I can focus. And I can focus my mind, my body, energy, really, really kind of put in the effort. And so that's why I'm saying 2021 is alcohol-free completely for me. And also then I'm going to focus on eating a completely different diet. So I've eaten keto before. A lot of times I've gone alcohol-free before. So it's not that I'm it's not that it's an issue in that way. I've gone months without drinking. It's just that for a consistent, if I'm looking at a consistent growth and consistent progress in my life in areas that I want, then it's no good having moments of focus and moments of real kind of throw myself into things, and then your troughs where I'm kind of having those little lethargic and lazy periods and everything else. It's no good doing it like that. It needs to be all or nothing. So I'm going all in 2021. So my diet is, I'm going to start to look at it more as a fuel, as fueling my body, not just sticking to a schedule of eating here, which is what it is, isn't it? Like in the Western world, we're taught that eating is a scheduled thing. 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's it. And so I'm gonna cut down on carbs. I'm gonna cut out sugar, and I'm gonna go a bit more keto. I'm gonna eat a lot of meat, protein. Possibly no. I mean, I'll see if I go full carnivore for the period of 2021. I'm not sure yet. The issue with that is how expensive buying lots of meat in is. So I do believe in the carnivore diet and keto. I completely believe, because when I've done it before, I feel better. I feel less bloated, less full. Once your body gets used to it, like when I'm eating carbs, when I'm eating bread and rice and pasta and everything else, potatoes, the time between meals, I get hungry, and that's where I want a snack, and that's where I might have chocolate or a biscuit or whatever else. But when I'm eating just protein, when I've done keto, I feel much better between meals. I feel like I don't actually need to eat. And that's where you need to be. That's the psychology that you need to have, really, with regards to food. And I want to decouple myself from my love of food, from my comfort that I get from eating food. I want to separate myself from that and think about it in that, not thinking about my next meal, but thinking about, okay, I'm just going to eat. This is my fuel. I'm putting in a battery. So that's why I'm going to start looking at it. So I'm going to attempt to maybe go as meat eater as possible, as carnivore as possible. So eating steak, chicken, as much as possible, pork. We'll see. And eating plenty of fat then for energy, using fat as energy. But I've decided I'm going to actually go. I live by the coast, for God's sake. So I should be eating a lot more fish. And what's stopping me from being more self-sufficient? So I'm going to go out and I'm going to start fishing regularly on the coast, and I'm going to go and fish for sea fish that you can eat. So I'm looking at sea bass, plaice, that sort of thing. And so I'm going to go and fish and attempt to fish for certain meals throughout the week. And again, like that's gonna cut down on money spent, but it's again like as a society we've lost our way a little bit, in that we don't go and reap our own foods or take our own food from nature anymore. We're given it. So we don't have a choice in what we're given, really. Everything's put on the supermarket shelf, and you get to choose just from these chosen products. So I mean, I'm not down with that anymore. I want to go and be a bit more self-sufficient. So I'm going to start fishing. So just after Christmas, I'm going to buy myself a fishing rod, a sea fishing rod, and spinning. And I'm just going to go and spin for bass to start off with and see how it goes. I'm going to then go back into a regime of high intensity exercise. So I'm going to start exercising again 4 or 5 times a week, and just I want to get back to what I was. I want to lose weight. I want to get toned, and the only way to do that is to burn and to get the cardio and just to lose that weight, but then without putting any kind of bad things into your body. So yeah, so like that's my thing. 2021, I'm going to get in shape, so it's no alcohol, carnivore or keto, no sugars, and that's it. Job's a good one. Plenty of exercise, and I'm really, really excited about it. I'm looking forward to kind of 2020 being kind of an end point, and 2021 just being like going after life again. And I know I'll reap the rewards. It'll be great. I honestly can't wait. I can't wait to not feel bloated, not feel lethargic, not feel. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and you can follow along if you want. I'm setting up a new channel, which is just my name, Chris Russell, and I'll put a link in the description below for you to head over and subscribe if you want. But I'm gonna kind of do it as a bit more of a vlog, and I'm gonna give regular exercise updates, regular updates on how kind of my diet's going, how my things that I'm eating, kind of the exercises that I'm doing. I may even put up some exercise videos and maybe even do lives or whatever that you can do exercises from home with me, and you can follow along with me and get fit together. It's kind of great if I can have people along with me. That'll be brilliant. But I'll do some like check-in sessions, and it's gonna be a lot of fun just to get back to how I was before I became an adult, before I became an older adult. Because I think that life does do that if you get married, or if you just generally as you get older, you start to stop challenging yourself with things like food and drink. You think to yourself, okay, so like I'm allowed to have what I want now. I can do whatever I want. It doesn't matter. Like I can have a drink. It's fine. It's fine. I'll be fine tomorrow. But you've got to question, like, is how much do you want what you want? And that's where I'm going. That's the path I'm going down. So if it is you, like if you're similar to me and you're thinking that kind of this is something that you'd like to do, then get in touch, let me know. I think that people will relate to this, to be honest. I think there's a lot of people in the same boat as me. So I'd love to hear your stories. And look, it's not a case of you're not. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with people who like to have a drink in the evening, or who like to eat crisps or biscuits or whatever. That's your life. Like, everybody has their own way of living and their own choices. All I'm saying is just have a look at what you're doing. Have a look at what you want from life and how you're going about it. And is there something that you can tweak to make it easier for you to get to where you want to get to? And if there is, then think about, plan how you're going to do that. So, as always, thanks very much. Your comments are more than welcome. So put your comments down. Let me know what you think. Subscribe for videos. I've got some exciting videos coming up next year, with some really exciting guests as well, which will be really interesting. I just need to get them finalised. And then and watch again with us. Click the little bell notification, and you won't miss a video then. So again, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Look after your family and friends, and then I'll see you. There'll be one more episode just before New Year, so look out for that. But other than that, thanks very much. Grab yourself a drink. You're welcome to come with your drinks. For me, it'll be non-alcoholic. But grab yourself a drink, come and sit down and let's talk. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon. Bye.